Captain Matt here with Captain's Quarters First Class, an outdoor lighting podcast. I want to talk to you today and tell you that your follow up game sucks, right? What do I mean by that? I wanted to go over a couple things that have happened to me this last week and also from a few of my guys here. I do mentoring outdoor lighting across landscape lighting, Christmas lighting, soffit, or permanent lighting. Um, for a few select guys, you can check it out if you're interested, captainmattoutdoors.com. But this happened to me where I'm following up with people who I have sent an invoice to or sent an estimate to, I guess would be a better, or a proposal to, and they have ghosted me, right? So in my mind, they're ghosting me. They're a no for now. They are not interested. I spend this time, I gave them the information, and they don't even give me the courtesy of actually telling me no. And that can be one of the most frustrating things. I often have talked about falling in love with the answer rather than the yes, right? I prefer getting a no or a yes because those I can operate off of. The maybes just get stuck in your mind and it can do a lot of mental blocks of you saying, well, I still have this up in the air. Maybe that'll close. And all too often, when you have a few good projects that are in that maybe section, you kind of in your mind almost convince yourself they're going to close. So you might make different decisions, different purchasing decisions, different advertising decisions, different decisions on how aggressive you are in reaching out to other people. Because it's kind of like in the back of your mind that maybe can live as almost like a yes and trick you into it being yes, even though it's a maybe. So fall in love with the answer, yes or no. So for about three of these people, and I was calling, I don't know, maybe 15 of them that haven't heard back from yet, over sent them last week and was following up earlier. Well, actually, technically late last week. And three of the people that got on the phone had said they did not receive it. They did not receive the email. They did not see the email. Now, one of those people I can see was just lying to me because obviously we track the opens, right? We can see when they watch the video proposals I sent and all that. But the other two had definitely not opened email, definitely not seen the video. And here in my mind, I had put them in the no for now column and moved on. Like, hey, they're just ghosting me. They're one of those assholes who will waste my time and not even, give me that respect of a no, of like, hey, thanks for putting this together. We're going to pass it this time. Right. And I know they technically they don't owe me anything, but it doesn't take any effort to shoot me a text saying, hey, no thanks, appreciate it. Or just, hey, no. Right. Just something. But anyway, with these guys, they had not seen it. And I was like, oh my goodness. So let me send it to you right now. We're on the phone, open it up, make sure you got it. Right. And so they did. But my point is on that is if I had not picked up the phone and called them, I would have literally just put them in the no for now column on my CRM and followed up with them maybe a month, 2 months, maybe, a quarter from now. They could have went a different route or just decided not to do it. Maybe they're in a different financial position, right? The economy is what it is right this second. What will it be 3 months from now? What will it be 6 months from now? None of us know that. So if someone is interested and they're asking for a proposal, they're asking for pricing, it's super important that when we give it to them, that we make sure they actually see it. It got me thinking, how many of these other people have I sent a proposal to that didn't get back to me that just simply haven't even seen it, haven't taken the time for me to reach out and ask? And so we used to do when we're doing like Christmas quotes, right? So if we're sending a Christmas quote over phone, we don't do any windshield time during Christmas except for large residential, large commercial clients. We used to call them up. Hey, Joe, got your quote ready. I'm going to send it over to you while we're on the phone. I want you to open it up so I can walk you through it. Right. So it was not being sent until we got them on the phone. And while we're on the phone with them, we sent it to them. That way we knew right away that, yes, they got it. And we're going over it with them. Well, this is the point where, in person proposing versus the way I do it 99% of the time right now is through a Loom video recorded. This is where that tension can happen because I want to be very clear. If you have the time to do an in-person proposal, in-person sales, in-person proposing, quoting is always going to close at a higher rate than any other method because you're there in front of them. It's different when you're there staring into someone else's eyes. They're not they're not just going to shut up and not talk to you at all. They're going to give you some sort of response, some sort of answer, so you know where they are. So if you are at the point where you can visit all of these people and give them that proposal in person, that is by far the best scenario. I use the videos, the Loom video proposal, where I sit down and I make the video as if I'm sitting down at the kitchen table with them and go over the entire proposal word for word. I don't just send them like a PDF, or I don't just send them a price. And this has worked well for me, for my landscape lighting clients who are, the larger projects. These guys are super busy, and it can be hard and meet them for a daytime visit, meet them for a demo at night, and then meet them a third time for a proposal. So they've got to take 3 meetings with me before they even get, a proposal. It can be a lot for anybody, but a lot for, they have kids, they have sports, they have jobs. They want just a little time to relax when they get home from all of that. So the Loom video for me has solved so much of that. So if someone gets home at like 11 o'clock at night, they can still watch it, so that my jobs can actually move through the pipeline faster in that case, because there's no delay trying to get a husband and wife schedule combined with mine to make it all make sense. That's me. That doesn't mean that you should do that, right? When I first started out, I 100% was doing what I just said: 3 proposal meetings, or two meetings, right? I would do a daytime visit right before the demo, and then lead into scheduling the next visit to give them the proposal. And I'd print out a badass proposal, I had a cover, everything. It was a nice proposal, not just um, you know handwritten thing. It was super valuable, super added value, building value. And then same things for with gemstones and the permanent soffit lighting, the app controlled lighting, right? That can be down lighting, different colors, all that jazz. I was visiting people in person, then moved to just sending them a quote through Joyce, right? Uh, I would close work. Don't get me wrong, close work. But I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to implement making the video to send for Gemstone, instead of just sending them basically a PDF with numbers and a written description of what they were getting. And that has been great, right? Because I get to add value. I get to speak through it, talk through it, talk about all the features and benefits. Because one thing I know is, if you just email them a PDF or proposal, we all do. I would do the same thing. The first thing you're looking for is the price, right? So even though you have the most badass proposal, 54 pages long, they're looking for that one page. None of the rest even fucking matters. They're going to that page, and if that price doesn't immediately make sense in their mind from everything, the relationship and all the things you've done prior to them seeing that price, you're out. They're not going to read the rest and try to convince themselves, if that price is just so disconnected from reality of what they thought. At least walking through a video, you get to walk them through everything that's happening, right? So even with the soffit light, it's a reminder that it's a one-time install. It's a reminder that they can be architectural downlighting. It's a reminder they can celebrate any holiday. It's a reminder that it'll match the tracks will match their soffits. All of this other things and what's included, right? You can build the value of it. Can be easy when you're in the situation to say, yeah, it's $5,000 for the house, and that can seem like a lot. But when you more break it down, it's 5,000. But hey, for this 5,000, it includes the lights, it includes the color match tracks, it includes the installation, a 1-year service warranty, lifetime warranty on the lamps, 10-year on the other products, transferable to new homeowners, wire, boost cable, all this stuff, right? So they can actually more understand everything that actually goes into doing their project, rather than just 5,000 for lights. It's 5,000 for lights, but it's holy shit, you do need a lot. You need data cables and power and all of this stuff that, if you're just getting quote, you don't think about it. Like, for instance, like a garage door, right? There's so many pieces to it. You need springs and all this jazz. So, but if I just like, oh, it's $4,000 for a new garage door, that seems expensive. But then, oh wait, it's $4,000 for a garage door, but you need to take the old one off. You need to haul the old one away. You need to put a new spring on. You need to maybe update the motor, the opener, garage door opener. All of these things, these ancillary things that come with just getting the garage door, puts it more into perspective. And the same thing for all lighting that we do. I'm not saying you have to itemize everything, but just telling them everything that's included, right? Just even letting them know the wires included is huge. Anyways, I digress with that, because this went off into a different subject than I was kind of planning on talking about following up. But I think it's super important. Um, you can have all of these systems in place, right? And you hear me talk about it. It doesn't in-person visit is always going to beat that, right? Um, on the spot proposals and all that. That's a whole different conversation we can talk about. Or you can do when I first started doing the videos, I was actually making the videos before I met the person, doing the in-person meeting, and then also sending them the video as well after that, so that there was kind of record of everything, because it can be really confusing when you sit down with somebody for a half hour and they talk about your project and to remember everything that's included and what's what. But so for a follow-up game, so these people had not even seen it, and I think at least one or two of those people that I got a hold of are going to move forward on people that I had written off as ghosting me that simply hadn't got the proposal. And I was talking to one of my guys, the same thing. Uh, yep, I sent it out. They're not getting back to me. And I was like, well, call them. They may not have gotten it. Right. And same thing, right? They had not seen it. They didn't realize they got it. It was stuck in spam or whatever the case might be. And this happened to a couple different guys and myself. And I was like, damn, we're doing a bad job on follow up. We can't rely solely on email for follow up. Texting can be fine if the client texts you back, right? But texting only is at a certain level. Texting can be great for quick status updates, quick questions, or if you have built a relationship with them, you can move into the texting realm a little bit differently. But when it comes to finding out where their head is at for the proposal, you want them on the phone or you want them in person, because it could be something as simple as they don't understand what it includes, and they just once they ask that certain question, it all makes sense in their mind. But also, when you think about it too, that follow up of giving them a phone call is you in the end, even though they called and wanted the lighting, in the end, you're the one pitching the lighting to them. And so, like I often have talked about roofers, right? I needed a new roof put on. I got 3 quotes. Um, I didn't end up going with the lowest quote. Went with the guy who had called me 2 different times over the course of 4 days. Hey, Matt, just checking in, following up with you, seeing where you're at with it, blah, 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 blah. Any questions? I'm here for you. I got no follow up from the one other company. And then the other company called me up, was like, yeah, you need a loan for this or something. Like, fuck. Like it was such a horrible follow up that I didn't want to use him. But I did use the guy who followed up. It seemed like he wanted it the most. He wasn't desperate or hungry in terms of like, oh, I think if he doesn't get this job, he's going to have no work. He was passionate about what he does and he wanted the sale. And I can appreciate that, right? I think all of us can appreciate the guy who wants the sale. Right? We all, that's why they're in business. That's their job. No different than whatever job your clients do or that you do right now listening to this. They're doing their job, and you want a guy who wants to do his job well. You want a guy who likes his job. So following up, you don't have to give a hard sale. Like it's not even following up like you need to move forward right now, right? It's not the shady tactics that olden used car sales and stuff like that. It's just following up and really let him know that you love what you're doing, you want the sale, and you're here to help them. That can be the difference maker. You're the guy that called back. Maybe they're getting other quotes and you call back. The same way I've hired a bunch of people that I've hired, the ones that keep calling or emailing. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy wants a job more, even if his resume doesn't scream he's great at this, even if I'm not sure, he says he's a little scared of ladders and all that stuff, but he's calling every day. He's emailing every day. He's checking in. He wants a job. Like there's motivation there. Again, there's a difference between motivation and then like, oh man, if he doesn't get this job, he's homeless versus, oh, if he doesn't get this job, the business closes. But there can be that hunger that you appreciate that the person wants to do what they're pitching you to do. In the case of employee, he's pitching you to work. Like, I'm your guy. Let me work for you. When you're talking to a client, even if they called you, you're still pitching them. They want lights, yes, but now you're the guy pitching them. They want to know not just that you're the right guy for the job, not just that you're going to do the job well, not just that you know what you're doing, but you add on that you love what you're doing, you want to help them, it's important to you. That's a whole nother layer that doesn't get added on by most other companies in lighting and in general. Uh, I had a landscaping quote. I wanted a new front design, right? New walkway. I don't even know if I knew it was a new walkway. It was just mulch beds, kind of around everything, swooping through the side. I want a couple boulders and some couple trees and things like that. I had a couple guys come out. Of the couple guys that came out, one guy actually provided me a quote, and he gave it to me on the spot, and then he emailed it to me. And it was really good. Like I liked it, and it was a little bit more expensive than I thought. It was about, I don't know, $10,000 or $11,000 for the mulch beds and the trees and whatnot. But it wasn't, he had provided enough value. I was like, this is something that I might do. And then what got happening is, that was on like on a weekend or whatever. And then work came and I started working and getting back into my own life, not thinking about my landscaping. And I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months later, I was like, oh shit, I never did that landscaping project. And then I had to like replace my heater or my AC. One of those two went, it was 13,000. And I thought to myself, well, two things happened. One, I ghosted them by accident. Well, technically, I told them no for now, but I ghosted them by accident by not following up with them. So I kind of got, you get to see, like, I didn't purposely ghost them. I actually liked them. I actually wanted to move forward with the project. I just forgot I did. Like, true story. I forgot that I wanted to do that in terms of everything else. Everything in life comes at you and you just forget. I wasn't thinking about my landscaping every day. So if they had just called me, a week after, 2 weeks after, they would have gotten the project. It would have brought it to my top of mind, reminded me that I wanted it. I would have had 2 weeks or 1 week to see, they did a cool drawing and everything to show me what they're going to do. And I liked it. I was like, wow, this looks so good. Right. And then 2 weeks or 1 week of me living with what I have now, them calling back up, reminding me of the design they gave, reminding me how much better it would look, I would have closed. But then they ended up following up. I think it was, well, it was after the whole AC or heater, whichever one went at that point, happened. And at that point, I didn't have the budget for it anymore. I was like, I just spent $13,000 on that new heating unit. So I don't really had the money for the landscaping. But if they had followed up a week or two later, I would have done the landscaping. And then when my heater went, I would have found the money to do it. Right. The heater was a necessity. It wasn't an option. Landscaping is optional. So, and that's a powerful thing for me to remember. And sometimes I need to remind myself that follow-ups, right? Even if they watch the video, I see when they watch the video, even if I know they watch the video, I should still follow up and get them on the phone, have a chat with them. Because when someone has a conversation with you, you get to learn more. And even if they don't move forward with you, you get to build more of a relationship and they understand that you just love what you're doing. Also, you plant that seed for when they are ready, that they should call you. And then you know that you're going to keep following up with them. Anyways, I just want to encourage everybody who has those people that you say are ghosting you. Are they ghosting you via email and text? Or have you tried to pick up the phone? If you haven't tried to pick up the phone, I don't know if you can call it ghosting yet. They may not be getting your emails. So keep that in mind. Check out your no for now list from recents, from a month past, from 2 months, 3 months past. Get on the phone, start talking to people, confirming that they even got the quote, confirming they even got the proposal. And if they did, ask them what they thought, ask them what they liked, ask them what they didn't like, figure it out. And if you get the same common thread, the same common thread from all your clients who do not move forward with you, okay, then there's something to fix there. Or if you see a common element of why people do move forward with you, well, then you start doing more of that, right? Either way, conversations, whether people say yes or no to your proposal, can always be a benefit if you decide to use the information that you receive from them on that phone call to strengthen your position for the next pitch, to strengthen your position next time you hear it no, to strengthen the next time you do a demo, to strengthen the next time you do a proposal. Well, what if I tried that? If they're not liking it this way, what if I added this line item or this line and just tried something different or this photo? I encourage you having actual conversations, not emails or text threads, actual conversations with people who have you sent a proposal to will give you very valuable information if you decide to use it. And that's it. Captain Matt here with Captain's Quarters First Class, an outdoor lighting podcast. I hope you guys have a great week and I'll talk to you soon.